Jipper, who are the props that you feel are on track here to make the All Blacks?
Well, it's depending on who stays fit at the moment. Jason Ryan is a consistent coach. Do you know what I mean? So, like, out of the coaching group, I don't think we're going to see like massive amounts of change in terms of the front row, and I don't think it was an area of concern. Injury may create opportunity, but I still think in the tight head spot, you're going to see your Lomax, Tosse, and Newell. Depending on, I hope Newell's not too bad because he's been outstanding this season. It's the best I've seen him play at Super Rugby level. De Groot's a given, like he's had a massive season. And then the other loose heads are probably where potential opportunity lies. But again, I just think Jace Ryan has a close relationship with Bauer, and George is playing, really well in the tight stuff. How he'd go in a Rennie style up tempo game, I'm not sure. So that may create opportunities for a Numia and a Norris to be in the squad in that loose head. And I don't think, like, if there's any injuries, you can't rule out Angus Tyrel. Like, he has a big engine, he has a skill set. Remember him against the Crusaders, he's running great lines, big carries. He's scrummed really well. He's had some big passages of scrummaging. And he's got some experience at test match level. So there's no reason why his game doesn't fit the opportunities. Yeah. And then I suppose guys that we've seen in there previously, you've got your Tavita Mafaleo, you've got Ofa Tongafasi. But I suppose in terms of if you're going straight form, it's actually probably a bit harsh to say form. Lomax has just come back, but his international form to me warrants him to come straight back in. So I don't see too much change from the start of last year. Obviously, Tamaiti Williams is a big gap, and you don't know when he's back. So that creates that opportunity for Numia and Norris and Bauer to sort of fight out, I think, for those other two spots at loose head.
Brenner, you get close to those props. Is there anything you've seen there on top of what Jip said?
Yeah, I think more so you look at your Numia and your Norrises. I think with how De Groot's been playing, you've got Lomax who's your incumbent, Tosse and Newell, and hopefully Fletcher isn't too bad when it comes to the injury because he has been in career best form, I believe, at Super Rugby level. But I think with how, Numia, with how he does play, more so you look at the up tempo, I guess, with what Dave really wants to use when it comes to playing a high tempo game. Like, he's very good for the Hurricanes around that. Now, his footwork, his collision area, being able to get over the advantage line, very good with ball in hand. And the same with Ollie Norris as well. So, yeah, I think Jip's kind of touched on all of them. I think Angus Tava has had a great year down at the Highlanders. And if you do want experience, you've got a guy like him who has played very well. You've got Ofa Tongafasi coming back from a major injury if you want some experience. So, but no, Jip has kind of nailed on the head with everybody that is in line, I guess, for this propping stocks.
I feel like Numia was going to be picked, and then he got that big injury with his calf. And then it's just sort of taken him, but I really feel like the Hurricane scrum is humming, and Wap has got them, I don't think that's a fair question mark anymore. I do actually think he warrants an opportunity at test match level. And I think his game suits the style, the pace, the tempo that Dave Rennie will and his coaching group will want. And I think Norris has come back. Man, he looks a beast. So, the only other one that is a potential is George Dyer. If there's injuries to those sort of main three tight heads, like he puts in the yards, man. He's a little bit of an unsung hero for the amount of minutes he plays and the damage he does up front.
We've had plenty of emails come through from you all out there, arp@fandommedia.co.nz, and also stuff coming through in the comments section, because you send through your emails and your comments, bring them on the show, and you're into that draw for the monthly Athletex Supplement Prize. So we've got a few through this week. Jamie Bapty is talking All Black selections, and he says he's loving the selection debates going on at the moment, and in his opinion, outside of Jordan, Roygaard, Artie Xavier, and Geordie Barrett, basically anything could happen. I'd include Kuntu Pai probably in there as well. Anything could happen. And he says, is that a strength, Brenner? Or is that a worry that when you look at the All Blacks 15 or 23 right now, we don't really know what it looks like?
In some positions we do. I think, probably if you look at the injuries and the props here, it might be a little bit difficult with some injuries and guys coming back, and maybe our locking stocks possibly, but And if you do write down a 15, I think we talked around the loose forward trios, we could choose so many with how many are in good form. So, but I think what it has done with Dave Rennie, he has said that he's going to pick on form. And I guess for me, it's how much to that truth is going to be actually forming in a lot of positions. Because I think when it does come to the team as well, there'll be your stock standard guys that you have experience that you do need, and whether they're playing good or not, they probably will be selected. But the thing that I'm most interested is, like, if we are going to base this on form, then we are going to see some bolters, or not bolters, or some new crops coming through. You know, your likes of your Morby, Whittingham on awful. Now, not too sure if he is leaving to go to the Newcastle, but you know, guys like that with debutants on that are going to be coming through with how their performances have been. So I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think there are positions that we think we're actually okay. A few positions where we might need to wait and see, but I think it's a good thing as well, because I think Dave Rennie has said he's going to pick on form. So I think as Kiwis, we're pretty excited to see if that's going to hold true coming in a few weeks when he names the squad.
We've had comments throughout the time where we've been talking about Whittingham and Norfolk, and like, he's leaving, get over it. And was it Andy Rowe from The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby came out this week and said maybe he's not. Newcastle think he might not go, and that New Zealand Rugby might keep him. It's a watch this space, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I think to answer the question, I think it's a good thing, because I think what we've seen with the success of South Africa is the ability for them to play in different styles. And I think, although I think everyone, well, we assume how Dave Rennie and his coaching group want to play, I do think they want to innovate, they want to be first, they want to be different, and you're going to need a range of players. And I think if you're so set on, okay, that's our 23, we can't do that. And so I think if we have this debate and we're not sure, one, I think we're not sure because this is a new coaching group, so we're not sure who they like yet. But two, I think it would be more concerning if we were like, okay, this is the 23.
Yeah.
I love the debate, because I genuinely, like, I obviously have strong opinions on certain things, but I can't, like, I've probably got about 48 names, you know, and that's got to get down to 34.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
It's very challenging. And if you were Macho Man, who's one of our regular emailers, he sent an email talking about the way that the Springboks bring in young guys. So like Hashim P, the number 9, who was so good at the under-20s last year, you know, went straight into the Box squad as a bit of an intern. And I know we've done it in the past with Artie, we've done it with Geordie, we've done it also with Asafa Moore, where they've been almost a travelling learner. They've seen the potential in that person and said, well, you're not actually in the All Black squad, but you're here to go.
They've been doing it. It's just different. So it used to be on the India tour, they've been doing it for all the home series.
Yeah.
So I think good examples are Pete Lakai. He did that. Trying to think, I think it might have been Jamie Hanna, might have been Fabian Holland before he got in. But they've been doing it. There's been young guys inserted, you know, in the environment under Razor's regime.
So, Brynner, if you were to take a couple of guys having seen Super Rugby this year who you think shouldn't probably be in the 34, but, you know, we should really spend a bit of time with in the All Blacks, who would you go for?
Lucas Casey, 100%. I think, look, I think with how the loose forward trio is going, there's so much competition with not only 6, 7, and 8, but I think the way that he finished with the Highlanders, he's definitely one guy. I think at the back end of the season, we probably saw the best version of Lucas Casey, and I think, you know, throughout the season, you know, his first season being in the Super Rugby, being able to play minutes, probably found his way to where he was at the end. Not the finished product by all means, but Jeezy was in good form, so he was definitely one that I reckon, Lucas Casey.
Daniel Runner for me. I reckon his performances have been massive like the last few years. I think he's been obviously in the Māoris, he's been All Blacks 15. I think if he got some time in there and just experienced the intensity of it with the training intensity, he covers a multiple amount of positions. I think it would do someone like him wonders to come back and absolutely dominate NPC, more so than he has already. And the other one that I've been liking, Brennan, I would like you to question me on this or support me on it, is Sam Knock.
Yep.
Mate, I reckon he is playing unbelievably well.
It's probably been his best year, Jip. I think he's been in and around that environment for a long time, and has had a lot of competition with Finlay Christie, who's played very well for the majority of the time that he has been there. But look, I think what I've really enjoyed about Nokia, it's his sniping and his decisiveness around him running. Like, he's always been a very good distributor, has a very, very good box kicking game. But what I've really enjoyed from Nokia is his ability to be able to question the Heart defense, and he's been able to break through a few times actually in his time this year. So whether that's an involvement, it's definitely been an improvement in his game and involvement over time. It's just whether he's going to be in New Zealand, Jipper, because I think, there's a lot of opportunities that come with a guy like Sam, with the way that he is playing and been there for a long time. So, but yeah, his form, and especially with a couple of guys leaving, you guys like Xavier, that next crop that was talked about the All Blacks, Sam Knock's been in career best form.
And then if we're looking young, got a couple here.
Yeah.
From the weekend, Odin Ryan.
Yeah.
Holy dooly. Is he a little young Dane Coles or what? Like, this explosive little pocket rocket. I know, like, everyone will get into the detail that the scrum wasn't strong and stuff, but I'm just saying in terms of experience, oh man, he's impressive. Him and Cooper Grant. Did you see those two offloads?
Cooper Roberts?
Oh, Cooper Roberts. Sorry, Cooper Grant's the other Cooper. Yeah. Cooper Roberts. Mate, that was absolutely outrageous. Like, I remember we were talking about Billy Proctor and his ability to get that offload away to Morby a few weeks ago against Moana Pacifica, but not once, twice. If we're talking about young guys, I mean, that's what we're talking about. Is Pede went in after his 20s. I suppose where we've traditionally done it is guys that we've spoken about that have been knocking on the door that have gone.
And that's where a 26-year-old Curtis Rona is. Curtis Rona, Daniel Rona, Curtis Rona. Good luck with getting
We're
Curtis
having a great go with names at the moment.
I think one person, if he wasn't injured, I think it would have been like your Dylan Pleasure from last year. Would have been probably a perfect example. So obviously he got injured, but he was probably one talked about that he was going to be in the All Blacks, but then I think him in that kind of apprenticeship role with what we saw probably like your Artie Xavier and your Geordie Barretts early on in their careers, he was definitely one that I think missed out.
And I don't know where he's at in his rehab, but it probably wouldn't hurt, even if he's not running the plays and doing all of that, actually having him in the team room, right?
Oh, yeah, but I do think also, Ross, when you are younger, you want to be able to play footy. Do you know what I mean? So if they were to do that, for example, you have that balance of bringing them into the camp for 1 or 2 weeks to get an understanding of what it may look like. But as a 9 or even a 10, I know as a player, you need to be out there playing. And especially coming back from a long injury, got to be out there and play for Aotearoa, get some minutes under your belt to then hopefully go to Super Rugby and then have the year that we probably want him to have in this year if he wasn't injured early on.
So we're all in agreement, Daniel Rona?
Daniel Rona.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Oh, Lucas Casey.